Sup everyone, we are back with more Great Ace Attorney, and this time we're doing some more escapades, like we did after Case 2. 26th of February, 9:17 a.m., British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Oh man. Here we are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing. Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice cozy breakfast. But we have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests here in Britain. So I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. Sorry, some noise was happening in the background and I wanted it to subside. I suppose not. But is there even anyone here? You could hear a pin drop in this place. It's too solemn for its own good. It is very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock as it keeps perfect time. Except it was interrupted because the recording had to be paused. Tick-tock, 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 pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. What was that, I wonder? It sounded like a human was imitating it rather than the actual clock sounds. The usual comforting sound of the clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today. Tick-tock, 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 ha-ha, oof. You're right. Something's disturbing the rhythmical ticking. It sounds rather like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post, clumsily. Who are you calling unfit? Oh, Inspector Gregson, what are you doing here? What am I? Isn't it flaming obvious? 58 seconds remaining. Sorry. I gotta remember the voice I did for him. 58 seconds remaining, Inspector. We'll have to talk later, sunshine. And he's gone. My man's dead. I don't know what the hell's happening, but he's dead. Good morning, Lord Strongheart. Wow, he's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch today. And good morning to you. Business so early in the day. Oh, yes. Well, I mean, it's about the other day, We are here to deliver our report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with the Mr. Natsume are now over. Ah, yes. The little Japanese man. I've already cast my eyes over Van Zyke's report. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. So what is Gregson doing there? I must say the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done. You are too kind, my lord. It's not here, it's not here, it's not there, and it's not over there either. What is he doing? I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the inspector doing? Thank you. It's driving me crazy. He's been harrying around between the bookshelves looking beside himself with worry. He's looking for a particular work, The Lion's Pride. Now there's an all too familiar title. Yeah. I'd heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time, so I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was. Nope, not there. Not here either. Come on, where are you lions hiding? So why is he so beside himself? The book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess. Oh, good lord. This poor dude. So he has to return it to a library? Inside 5 minutes. I must say, I've never seen anyone work so hard to find something. He's like a man possessed. Oh yes, that's because his month's salary is staked upon the Oh no! Gumshoe! Oh no. Gregson is the freaking ancestor of Gumshoe. Oh no. At whose instigation? Let me guess, this stony-faced lord. And the 5-minute time limit. What's the significance of that? There is none. Just my vulgar, mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid. Wow. You're quite blunt. Oh, by your own admission. Arrgh! I can't. My feet are killing me. I'm not even gonna be able to stand soon. They're gonna crumble. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. Yarg! Which means the next month you will work unpaid and have no days off. Poor Gregson. No days off? Those doves are flying the coop. Oh, this poor dude. Well, there really are just so many books here. It's overwhelming. Yeah, I know. Honestly, it'd probably put the library to shame. Okay, maybe not that much, but there's a lot. For some, perhaps, I purchase every book, new or old, on the subject of law from all over the globe. Wouldn't have believed a few short decades ago, a place like this couldn't have existed. What do you mean, Inspector? When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books. Oh, I see. Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings. No, that's not it. Oh! There was a tax on paper, see? Oh, on paper? Yeah, I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. What, just like the window tax? There was tax levied on any kind of paper. So obviously that meant most folks couldn't afford to buy any books at all. Ah, so is that why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Stronart? Indeed. Vestiges of the paper tax system, you could say. The general public consider books as items for hire. London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books. You couldn't hope to read all of that even if you were reincarnated 10,000 times. I don't know. Depends on the average length of books. Even I would choose to rent a book rather than purchase it, if I knew I would read it infrequently. The subject of taxes actually surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seems that the window in his room was filled in due to some kind of window tax. That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain. Britain's always had a bit of a thing for tax and stuff. Whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, you name it. Candles, beards... Wait, sorry? What was that last one? Did you say beards? Yep. The beard tax. Never heard of it? Never! Why would you tax people for having a beard? Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow? You may well ask. I suppose it's because it makes them look self-important. Huh? The Naruhodos will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. You can relax. The beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Paying taxes, I mean. Paying them? You've got that back to front, sunshine. But you can't deny you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. Never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Mrs. Sato? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo. What? No, you don't mean... Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan. No, but there have been similarly obscure taxes. Sorry, I cannot speak. For example, in the Edo period, there was a frontage tax. What was that? It was a tax not on windows, but on the entrance to property. What, like having multiple doors? The larger a property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. That is weird. So if you had some grand, super large doors, you would get frickin' taxed for it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. I had no idea. Huh. So your Japanese are as twisted as us Brits. But we never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far. She's gonna say something similar, isn't she? Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards, at least. What do you mean, at least? Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright. The ruling class prohibited beards? Man, imagine being the judge. Imagine the judge at the Japanese court, the Supreme Court of Judicature. Imagine them just in an older period, not allowed to have a beard. It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was an Edo period edict. Why do the powers that be want to ban beards? Because it makes people look self-important? Just an idea. It would seem that rulers in the East and the West have had similar ideas over the years. Book gets taken out of sleeve yet again. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period. There have? For example, though it was before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax. There was a tax on those adorable fluffy creatures? Like the one who makes mochi sweets on the moon. Yes, and it was an extremely large tax, too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money. This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax, then? Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, there was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the Meiji capital. A boom? Yes, keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits. Like, colored chicks, I suppose. Hard to imagine, though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet. One would have thought one can bankrupt you. So in response to this worrying social vogue, the government imposed a rabbit tax. I suppose they couldn't just ignore the problem. I mean, the term "fuck like rabbits" does exist for a reason. There was probably plenty of them to be sold. And it worked because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, the tax was abolished. Well, I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. But there's more. After the rabbit tax was abolished then, of course, society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. Oh dear. The government didn't think that one through, did they? Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you are responsible for the running of the country, you will feel the need to raise revenue keenly. Without a stable taxation system, the whole country would go down the drain. Well, yes, I suppose so. Some of these taxes... That's precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing the public. Novel ways? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, if you were one of my country's statesmen... Me? A British statesman? Yes, what novel tax would you impose? Pray, give us something truly original. You have 36 seconds. Oh, sorry, I tried to spout out a random number. Inside 5 seconds. What? Think of something that everyone uses, Mr. Naruhodo, and really squeeze every penny out of the population. It's quite the intense stare. I'm very glad Susato-san isn't in charge. I don't know, a book tax, since we're talking about that earlier? Your, your time is up. So, what's your answer? Well... Air, maybe? Yes, how about air? Let's play the freaking Pursuit theme! Dun 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 do 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 dun 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 dun. You are getting taxed on all of the oxygen you breathe, and you will be pouring soon. An air tax, you say? Oh, well done, Mr. A truly novel and fiendish idea. Bro, you breathing too much air over there, homie. Hand over your cash. Sorry, you have lost... Imagine you go bankrupt and the government just says, you have lost your breathing privileges. It just starts to strangle you. Well, everyone has to breathe, so while the population is inhaling air, my government is inhaling money. It prints money! It's genius! Blarney, you're a tyrant at heart, eh? A somewhat radical solution to a country's revenue problems, but sadly not an original one. Shit! No! You mean to say... there is an air tax? Are you telling me an air tax exists in Britain right now? Oh no. How much do we have to pay for all this? Surely not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past? It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor France proposed it. France just casually being like, yes, you cannot breathe the air. You must pay for it. What? If I ever go for a visit, I'm holding my breath. Yo, it's like when y'all were kids, did you ever like when you were like driving through like a tunnel or something, did you ever like hold your breath in order to like see how long you could go and see if you could hold your breath to the end of the tunnel or something? I know some people like would do that in multiple ways, like either that or like by screaming as long as the tunnel went on. I don't know. Just reminded me of that. Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either. Oh dear. Although clearly that would have been an untenable situation. Imagine you're in frickin' Demon Slayer. Yen no Kokyu. Money breathing. First form. Tax evasion. The public at large are a force to be reckoned with. Good thing about these frickin' escapades is, and them being side stories with a lot of comedy, is that I can actually just go off with my commentary and I don't have to worry about plot. Don't I know it? How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose? Listen, I know what I would do personally. Because of all the characters I've seen in this game, specifically in Britain, I would do like a frickin' hat tax. Do you see how many characters in this frickin' in Britain wear hats? You've got Sholmes, you've got Gregson, you've got all of the frickin' the majority of the jurors and witnesses. Like, there's so many frickin' people that wear hats that you could tax. I would go for that personally. I wouldn't be surprised if Gregson says like a book tax because of how he just got frickin' docked his pay because of books. Oh, let me see. My first thought is a tax on objections. Wow. Sorry? Been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens. So I think an objection tax could be very handy. Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public office. What would Strongheart do? I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right. Most amusing proposal, Gregson. A most unamusing proposal, my lord. Yeah. I feel like Ryunosuke would be bankrupt within one trial. Hell, I'd probably get through one recording and he'd be broke. Well then, I think it's your turn now. Sorry, my turn for what? Oh no, are we gonna have to search for the book? Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of The Lion's Pride. Oh. It's on one of the shelves in this room, of that I am certain. Now, I shall give you 10 minutes. Wow, you're more generous than you are with Gregson. And let's stake your student stipend on it, Fail to find the book and you forfeit next month's payment. Objection! Alright, that's 5 pence. Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you just said the word objection. What, did you actually add that? Kindly leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves. This tax is gonna be the death of me. Hey, at least it's not an air tax. Then it truly would be the death of you, because you'd freaking die from holding your breath. No, imagine you just build a rocket to go to space. You just build a rocket to go to space because of all of that. Like, you're just like, alright, if I'm not allowed to breathe and I have to pay for it, then I'll just go to space where there is no air. Deal with that one. Ha. Alright, and now we're on the 4th episode. 9th of March, 8:23 a.m. Sholmes' suite. I'm pretty sure that most of these... I think that a lot of these take place in between case 4 and 5. So I'm just gonna have to play it by ear on this, but I'm gonna at least do 2 during this episode. I might end up doing multiple episodes of Escapades in a row, so we'll have to see. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, morning, Susie. I'll get breakfast on the table for us all. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Morning. Come now, why the lone face? Oh, sorry. The thing is, I just had a rather strange envelope posted under my door this morning. Some rather strange things inside. Yeah, I got called... What strange things? Well, first off, it started off the letter by calling me a sussy baka. I have no idea what that means. Oh, what was it, Reno? Do I catch the scent of mystery in the air? Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. It was just 5 orange pips. I can't imagine what it could possibly... What? Orange pips, Mr. Naruhodo? And 5 of them? What's the matter with you? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it? An overreaction? Mr. Naruhodo? You don't understand. It's a warning. A notice of imminent danger. To your life. What? To my life? What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me? Because the name on the sender was written on the Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope and it was yours. Oh, you're right, Rene. It says sent by Sholmes. Envoy of Hell. You fool! I am actually a demon from the underworld. Yes, I am the postman, risen from the depths of hell to take you down. You will work for the post office. So my little ploy has been exposed. Well, so be it. Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruhodo, to the time of our dining last night. Oh yes, Mrs. Sato cooked Japanese food for us. Indeed. In particular, you may recall the final Norimaki sushi rolls that I was about to savor. I believe that how they are pronounced, yes. That is, before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and flinched it from under my nose. You devil. I am the devil, and yet you seem like the one who is evil. Oh, I assume because you left it that you didn't want it. I'd left it, my dear fellow, because I had planned to enjoy it as my very last mouthful. After all, you always save the best for last when you're eating. Surely you must have noted my intent by the subtle dilation of my right pupil. Perhaps a clearer sign would be helpful next time. Just an idea. In summary, the post you received earlier is a notice of impending revenge. You should be quaking in your boots. Really? Because I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may grow some exotic fruit. There's no point sending a notice of impending revenge if the person you send it to doesn't know what it is. Bam. Well, I know, of course, because I've read this book, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, yet again. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rare reviews. On sale. Get them now. Or else. Oh yes, of course. It's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well. It is. 12 short stories in one volume. I've earned a lifetime spending money already. Yo, can you bring some of that cheddar over here? Thank you very much. We're kind of dying. And it has further bolstered my name. In fact, only the other day a Bohemian king sought to engage my services. Bohemian king. Did he tell you a rhapsody? Really, that's extraordinary. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration. But only a fool would presume to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade. So how did you know that he was a king, then? Why, there is no mystery, my dear fellow. A distinct smell of fish accompanied the man's lowly apparel. And though he tried to hide it, the left side of his mustache quivered in a quite manifest manner. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, that's simply brilliant. Having neatly resolved the case for the man, I was sent a quantity of fresh cod as a mark of his appreciation. I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger. Is that... Can anyone else smell burning? Oh yes, you're right. And look, smoke. I think maybe... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Really? A fire? We must all leave at once. Everyone out of the building. No, wait, I have to go back to my room first. I left my homework folder. It has 1 terabyte. Are you deranged? If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you to death. But my Daruma doll, I can't let my Daruma burn. It means too much. Drat, sorry, but I'm gonna make a dash for it upstairs. Haha, oh Reno, you're so funny. This is no time for jokes, Iris. Go, quickly, get out of here. But there is no fire. I mean, there is one in the frickin'... There's a fire over there, behind you. Is there, Hurley? Huh? You have been japed. Ah, what a delight to see that ploy enacted in the flesh. I wouldn't have dared to dream I should be so lucky. Miss Usato? Indeed, indeed. Indeed it was a ploy. A devilment engineered by my puggish spirit. It's all a trick? But why? It is a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Narhedo. When his life is threatened, a fellow is compelled secretly to protect that property to which he attaches matching importance. And after your own life, Rena, the most important thing to you seems to be your Daruma doll. Let's not dwell on that, shall we, Iris? So, you knew all along, Mrs. Sato, that it was a trick. Yes, of course. The very ploy is described in this book. The adventures of... Yes, I get it. Yes, okay. You can stop the sponsorship now. Not again. I have used that device quite satisfactorily in the past to solve a case. Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? But then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay no attention to you at all. Yeah, sounds about right. Yes, that's true. There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes who cried wolf. I think there's a lesson to be learned in there somewhere.
But sadly my little ploy failed to yield results this time. Yes. One might say that if I had a job for deceiving people, I would be fired. Iris was utterly unmoved.
What do you mean?
Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose a secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room.
Nest egg? You think Iris has some secret savings?
Why, naturally, the book is selling like hotcakes after all. It is a simple deduction indeed to conclude that the profits must be concealed here within these walls.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you in need of money? Are you poor like us? Ah, I bet I know what it is. It's that new microscope that's gone on sale, isn't it, Hurley?
What else? I have such a strong desire to own one, yet my purse is £1 too light. And as no offer of a loan has been forthcoming, I have been forced to resort to an alternative stratagem.
Hee, sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. Not coming from the Sholmes who cried wolf.
Ah, how vexing. Blast, foiled again. If it wasn't for you meddling kids and your lawyer.
You really shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old savings, you know. Yeah, it's whatever. What are they gonna do? Tell her... What's she gonna do? Tell her dad about it? My book is full of little tricks like that, you see. The armory of the great detective. Except that in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they?
As flat as my ass, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley mystery.
I'm already filled with dread just from the title.
It is a tale of extraordinary skill on the part of a detective, so I am quite tired. The skill of tracking.
Tracking?
When I arrived at the scene of the crime in the eponymous valley, there were footprints everywhere, but my eye was immediately drawn to one set in particular.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, your detective instincts are truly remarkable.
As you know, my dear madam, no detail, no matter how small, escapes the scrutiny of these eyes. So I tracked my quarry, following the trail of his footprints all the way to the man's place of residence.
Led you directly to the culprit's house? What a triumph. Man, this sounds familiar.
You must understand, it led me directly to my own house, my dear fellow. It was my own footprints. The reason that I found the footprints so interesting is because I have such a great taste in shoes.
Huh?
For the footprints were, in the final analysis, those made by my own shoes.
Hurley had left here for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received the telegram about the case, you see. And then he followed his own trail straight back here to Baker Street. How did you not realize that halfway? Or like after 5 seconds?
Now, Iris, please, you make it sound almost humdrum, but I assure you it is no easy feat. Tracking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Himbo Herlock Sholmes. Hemlock Bones.
Yeah. You're right, it really is extraordinary. You extraordinarily dumb.
Quite so, extraordinary is the word. Let it be the last on the subject.
No, add more to it.
Anyways, needless to say, I subsequently went on to solve the case with various other deductions.
Yes, it's the various other deductions that I'm interested in.
Ah, well, you shall have to read the book then. I'm sure I suspend it with her usual flourish. Go buy it in stores, on sale now.
Oh, absolutely, I put an ingenious spin on the great detective's exploits. Must have been very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective. Wait, is that... Does it smell like something's burning again? We've had enough devilment for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your puckish spirit to bed.
I assure you this has nothing to do with me or my spirit. Let me guess, Usato's the one doing it. She's been quiet.
What? Oh no, the smoke is getting thicker. You mean, it's not a trick this time? There really is a...
Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone!
Says the Sholmes who cried wolf. Ah! Mrs. Sato, where are you going?
Stand aside, Mr. Naruhodo. I am a firefighter, as in I will deck this fire, and then it shall subside.
Easy, Mr. Sholmes, what are you?
You let that kind easel gotta
smash. Mr. Sholmes? Why did he just chuck that bust of Napoleon on the floor? It's still over there. Oh, look at that! It amongst all the broken porcelain. Coins, sovereigns, in fact. Worth a whole pound each.
Come, everyone, we must leave at once. Evacuate the building.
Oh my god. Iris did it in order to see where Sholmes is hiding his money. Heh heh heh. You fell for it, Hurley. Hook, line, and sinker. Wait, you mean... Iris! I certainly wouldn't have guessed that's where you'd hidden it.
Do you mean to say that this smoke was...
Probably from her gun. My own package spirit needs to come out and play sometimes too, you know.
What? Of course, I know what it is, Iris. It's that indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you're after.
I want one so desperately, but I'm £4 short. And even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before, I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room.
Oh, you've outwitted me again?
You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, you know. So thank you for the loan, Hurley. This is a new face, I'm pretty sure. Oh, but wait. What's the matter? Where's Susie? She's disappeared. I wonder if she's gonna get what's most important to her. Oh yes, that's right. She ran off up the stairs before, didn't she? Oh, what are you all still doing in here? We have to evacuate. It won't be long before the fire is... Oh, drat. Sorry, Susie. Children will get up to mischief once in a while, you know, but it's all perfectly harmless. Harmless, maybe, but oh so devious. But where's Sholmes to keep his food? His cash? Oh. Oh well, at least nobody was hurt.
Apart from Napoleon and my secret hoard. Good thing I had a replacement Napoleon. Though this one does not have cash in it. Now tell us, Mr. Sato, what is it that you went so fleet-footedly to fetch?
Sorry? Oh, no, nothing. This is just... No, this is nothing. Susie, that's your notebook detailing all of Runo's trials, isn't it? It's bulging at the seams. You know, don't take that quote out of context.
What? Ah, a testament to the various people you've helped over the past months.
Mrs. Sato, Well, I am your judicial assistant, after all. I would do anything to ensure the safety of these records. Even risk my life if necessary.
Foreshadowing?
Perhaps not. Who knows? I mean, it's very important to me. It's like a diary of everything we've achieved together. I'm getting all teary-eyed now.
Yes, in stark contrast to a certain someone who would have fetched his Dalrum at all, I must say.
And thus is the end. That was a fun one. Alright. Well. And now we go out here. Alright. Next time on Great Ace Attorney. I think we'll probably be continuing with more of this. We'll try and get episode 5 and 6 done next time. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, matane.